I'm just going to launch my Power BI and then open my local instance. Here, you can see you need to bring in the data that you are given to work on. All right. So, no, let me not just go to Excel. Let me use here. I can still explain it in this Power BI. So the first thing you need to do to be able to bring in data into SQL, the first thing you need to do is that you need to have a database where you want to put in that data. All right. So you need to create a database where you need to put in that data. I already have some couple of databases. I have about 4 databases here. 1, 2, all these things you're seeing here are databases. This is database. If you open it, you're going to see the tables inside the database. These are the columns inside the table. All right. So let's create a new database for that, our project. So I'll just do create database. Then what's going to be the name of the database? Maybe you want to call it project, maybe project file. Yeah.
Please reduce that volume.
So let's call it project file. Then I'll hit on enter. It is successful. So I'm just going to try some.
Please
Wow.
let's mute our speakers.
Wow.
Let's mute our audio.
Wow. Wow. I'll just mute everyone. Yeah. I'll just lock it so that nobody can unmute themselves again. I'll only unmute Mr. I can't find you, Mr. Lalikan. Okay. So you can unmute. Mr. Lalikan, can you hear me? Hello, sir.
Okay. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Just stay on mute so that I can get feedback from you.
Okay.
So now we have created a database called the project file. This is where we want to put our file. You must have a database where you want to put in the file or the tables that you want to, because when you're working with a company, now we are working with our local host, like our computer. In your computer now, the data you're working on is here. But when you're working with a company, you're going to be using their own database. You're just going to be querying their own database. You don't need to create your own database, all right? But here we need to create a database. So when we refresh, you're going to see that database that we've created. Look at it here, the last one. If I open it, you can see the table. There's nothing in the table. We don't have anything in this table. So what we want to do is to bring in those files, all right? So to make sure that I'm working on this database, I'm just going to double click it. It's highlighted now. So I'm working on this particular database. So I'm just going to right click and go to table data wizard import to bring in those files. I'll click on browse and look at those 3 files, the 3 projects, the tables, the 3 tables that were given. So I'm going to import them one after the other. I'll click here. Then I'm going to import, let me move this thing. I'm going to click on next. Click on next. I want you to create a table. All right. So I click on next. Then I click on next and click on next. And the data has been imported. Click on finish. So if I refresh, I'm going to see that the data is there now. When I open this table, product order, right? Then we still have 2 more. We'll do the same thing again. Go again. We import it, browse, we've imported this product order, right? Then we'll put the second one, product category. Then we import. So these files are actually so small, like they are small. That is why they are so fast. If they are large files, it will take a while. This one has imported so fast. If you refresh again, you see it here. If you open the table, you see it here. Then let's bring in the last one, which is the sales order. Click on it, open. Click again, then click, and then wait for it to import. This one is a little larger because it contains the sales. So we'll just wait for it to import. So this is very important because each time you're given a new data set, so you don't have to, okay, I think it's complete. So I'll just click on next, finish, and refresh. So we have the three tables here that we are working on. All right. So let me just remove this one. So we need to look at this table, open them and see what is inside. And how to do that, we just write select everything from which of the table, the first table, right? We'll bring it here. We'll close it. I also want to open the second one, select everything from the second table, bring it here. I close that query. I also want to open the third one, bring it down from this sales order. I'll close the query. Good. So I highlight all of them and open the, so here we have it, it's open. Great. I just want to put this thing down here so that it will not be distracted. Okay, here, up here. Good. So you can see we have the three tables. This is the product table, this is the product category table, and this is the sales table. So let's even try to understand what this table is about. So down here, you can see your query that everything you're doing, there's no error. Once there's an error, it will show. It will show you error here, but there's no error. Everything is green. All right. Now let's look at the table, see if, let's try to understand the table first of all, what we are trying to work on, then try to see if it is clean, if we can just start working on it like that, or if we need to move it to Power BI immediately, or if we need to clean it. So let's start from the product table, that is product order. The product order, this is the product ID, okay. Product category, or let's start from products. Let's even know what the product is about. Okay, the product, this is the product ID, this is the type code. Well, I don't know what the type code is, but they say it's PR, so we'll leave it like that. It's okay. Then the product category ID, this is the product category ID. Okay, that's fine. Then this is created by. So created by means by the time it was created. This is time. This one was created. This first order was created by 9 a.m. This is by 12 p.m. This is by 9 a.m., 6 p.m. and all that. So if you go down, you're going to see all the time. This is by 14. This 14 means 2 p.m. This is 1 p.m., 12 p.m. and all that. So this is the time it was created. This is the date it was created. Then that they made a change on it. This is the time the change was made. This is the date the change was made. This is the supplier partner ID. So they had suppliers. They have suppliers that supply them products, this particular product, and this is each supplier's ID. That is how they used to recognize each of the suppliers. So you can see maybe there will be another table that is a suppliers table. All right. That when you go to that table now, you can now see the names of the supplier, their address, the product they sell, and all that. But for this particular table, because we don't need that information, so we don't have access to that table. This is basically how, like, when you're working in a big company, this is how it works. Like, they have big database, very large database. You must have heard about big data or big query, something like that. So you may not be able to access all the tables. So what you need is just to go straight to the particular information you need and query that particular table that you need to get information from, and probably just download the data set or something and do what you want to do. So we really don't have any business with the suppliers. So therefore, we just need their ID to know that, okay, this particular supplier brought something, except we have a business question to answer, to answer regarding a particular supplier. Then we can now go to the suppliers table and then see their name, their product, their address, or whatever, their shop ID or their factory ID. Then the tax info, this is the tax tariff info. Okay, we don't really know what he's talking about, but I think it's 11111. Then the quantity units, we have each. So I think what they mean here is one each, but I know that units each is not a unit. So I don't think this information is necessary. So the thing is, in your data, to maintain data integrity, you don't really need any information that is not necessary. You don't need it. You may want to, remove it as long as it's not important or it's not really necessary, or contributing anything to the data you are working on. All right. So We may not even be needing this one. We may need to remove it when we get there. Then the weight measure, okay, this is the weight of the product and it is measured in kg. That's fine. Okay, then this is the price of each of the products and the currency is USD. So SQL actually doesn't accept that dollar sign. You know, if you now put dollar sign here as maybe $525 here, this is going to change. You know, this thing works with data type. The data type here now is what? Integer. You see it as figures, money. But when you put that money sign, dollar or naira here, it's going to automatically change this thing to text or voucher. It will basically change it to text, and it will be, and the data set, the data type will change, and it's not going to affect when you want to use it for calculations and all that. So that is why you see that they separated this thing. So on your own, you know that this is dollars, all right? Maybe when you now take it to Power BI, you can now add that dollar sign. So for me, this is not necessary. I'm going to remove it, all right? For the reason that, okay, we know that this is in dollars. When we get to Power BI, we're going to visualize. We're going to put it back there. Now, SQL is actually like SQL is not taking you anywhere. I think that was a particular class the lady was holding, and somebody asked, that question was funny. Somebody asked her, okay, what is the essence of this SQL? What are we trying to use it for, or something like that? Why are we learning it? And it was so funny. I think she didn't give any answer to it anyway. But the thing is that you cannot really do anything with SQL. The only thing you do with it is just to, manipulate data, play with data, fetch query, majorly just to fetch query and all that. The place where you can produce useful information with your data is on Power BI, on Excel, and other visualization softwares, all right? And I think basically everything you can do in SQL here, I think you can also do it in Power BI or Excel. You get to see all of that when we begin to build visualization. Even this data cleaning that we're going to be doing now, you can still choose to go and clean your data in Power BI or even in Excel before bringing it in here. But the reason why I'm going to clean it here is because we are going to be connecting this SQL to Power BI. So, and it's going to be live. Whatever change you make here is going to apply to Power BI. So if you don't clean it here, you go and move it to Power BI. When you it's the change, you cannot change something in Power BI and it will come here and affect this. No, but if you change anything here, this is the database where the file in Power BI is getting its source from. Like this is the source. So you need to do any change you want to do from the source and not from the other side. All right, so good. The next thing, let's look at the next table. Here we have the products category ID. That's fine. Then the language is important. We need to know the language, okay? Then the product category name. So this is also very important information. Then finally, the sales table. We have the sales ID. Then we have the sales order item. So this sales order item is like they sell this thing in batches. Like it's just like you buying a crate of egg. A crate of egg contains what? I think 24 pieces of egg. Or let's say you want to buy a crate of a carton of Indomie contains maybe 24 pieces of Indomie, something like that. So this one is grouped in 10 batches, 10, 20. Is either you're buying 10 or you're buying two, that is two cartons, that is 10, 10, that is 20, or you're buying four cartons, which is 40 or 30. Then product ID, this is the product ID, of course. Then the currency we already know is in USD, of course. Then the gross amount, this gross amount, then the net amount and tax amount. So your gross amount is the total amount that you sold that thing, including the tax, everything, both the buying cost, everything, the gross, like the total amount you got for that thing. Then the net amount is the total amount minus other expenditures, maybe your tax or your buying cost, or so yeah. So that's what your net amount means. But the gross amount is everything. You don't need to minus anything. While the net amount is you deduct like your expenditure, maybe your buying cost, your tax, your taxation, or anything. That's what your net amount is. Then your taxation means the tax you're paying on each one. So if you notice, this gross amount now is this, and this is the net amount. So this gross amount is gotten when you add this tax back to the net amount, you get this gross amount. So this gross amount minus the tax will give you the net amount, something like that. Then the quantity means the quantity that they bought, the person, this particular first order bought. Then the quantity, then the unit. Unit for quantity, there's no unit as each. So this is not a unit, it's not a necessary information here. We're going to do away with it. Then the delivery date and also the delivery date. All right, so we have seen the data. I think we now understand that this is kind of a retail company. This is their sales information. This is their products information. This is their suppliers information. And this is the products that they are selling. Different product categories, road bike, BMX, cycle, cross bike. I think a kind of automobile company. So by now we understand, we have a little understanding of what kind of industry we are working in, what we are expected to do and all that. So to begin with, we need to look into the data and see if our data is clean. That's the next part, the most important part. In fact, you're going to spend most of your time cleaning data as a data analyst. You're going to spend most of your time cleaning data. Because if you use data that is not clean to work, if you like spend 1 week working on that project, everything you've done is a waste because you're working with dirty data, all right? So let's start from the heading. This heading is wrong. We need to, remove this thing. And I always prefer having my heading in small letters. I don't know about you, but these ones are in capital letters and all that. So I don't know. I think let's start with changing the names. Or do you people think we should leave it in capital letter like this? I prefer leaving it in small letters. I don't know about you. So let's look at the columns that are supposed to go. Let's look at the columns that will go. All these columns are important. Look at the date column. The date column is not properly formatted. We need to format it well in the SQL standard. SQL like using the hyphen, the short hyphen. All right, someone is writing. Okay. All right. Okay. Uh, it's recorded. We are recording it. We are recording the class. Someone said the class is not recorded. So the date format is not properly formatted. We are going to format that here. So this particular column is supposed to go. It has no value. It has no need. We already know one is one. There's nothing like saying one each, one each, one each. It doesn't make sense. And besides, units, each is not a unit. Unit that we know is maybe kg, meters, liters, and all that. So unit is not a. So this column is going. This column is going. All right. So let's do that. Let's start from there. Which other column is going? Every other column here is important. All right. Okay. So let's do that. So we alter table. Which table are we altering? This one, product order. So we'll carry it and put here. What do we want to do there? We want to drop column. Drop the column. Which column are we dropping? We open the column. Product order, we'll open it. Columns. We want to drop what's the name of the column again? Quantity units. Quantity unit is not important. We'll drop it. Okay. That is done. We'll open the table again. That one is gone. The next one is the currency. We don't need that. We know it's in USD, okay? Okay, let's leave it. Let's leave it. Let's just leave it. No need. So we are done with removing the unnecessary columns. All right. I just drag it, like you press and hold it and then drag it to where you want to keep it. Okay, so I think we are done. Let's leave the units, even though it's not necessary here. I don't think it's important here. If on my own project, I'm going to remove it, okay? All right, so the next thing is to rename these tables. This one is wrong. You cannot have this, your table name like this. So let's start by renaming the table. We are going to alter table again. Which table are we altering? It is this table. We'll bring it here. Then we'll bring it down. So it is also important to know the data type of each table. All right. So you know how to check your data type now, but so if you want to check your data type, just use the scribe. Just use the scribe, then bring in the table name. It will now describe all the data types for you. You can see all the data type, okay? So we now know all our data type. Let's go back and start changing the name. So alter table, which table are we altering? This one. What do we want to do? We want to change the name. The first one here is product to bring it in. What do we want to change it to? We want to change it to product ID. So there are two ways of naming in SQL. There are two ways. Is either you use this convention. I don't know if you can. Okay, let me comment here. I want to rename tables. That's what I want to do here. Here, what I did here is to drop delete column. That's good. Then I want to rename tables. So look at this thing now. I don't know if you're seeing the bracket. There are two ways of naming in SQL. SQL does not allow space. If I want to write something like first name, look at this thing now, first name. SQL does not allow this space. So there are two ways I can write it. Is either I write it as first, I'll put underscore name like this. Okay. Zoom is warning us, but we still have some time. So is either we'll write it like this, first name, or we'll write it like this, camel case. This one is called camel case. Use the camel case method. So is either I write it as first underscore name or first name. So the first letter will start with capital letter and the second one will start with capital letter like this. I prefer this camel case because this underscore is look somehow to me. So I'll go with this one. All right. So the name I want to give is product ID. It will be like this, product ID. All right. Then the data type, look at the data type is voucher. I'll just call it voucher. Voucher 255. I'll close it. Then I'll close. But let's do all of them once. Okay, let's close this one and see if it works. Then I'll enter. Then let me view the table again. You see, it has changed the name. Can you see that product ID? It has changed it, so it worked. So let's do for all these other ones. We are going to do all of them once. So I'll just do alter table. Which table are we altering? This one. Then we'll go down, change. Which one are we changing? We are changing the type code. What do we want to change it to? Type code. You put the data type. You just take a look at it. It's text. So you just put text there. It's as simple as that. You don't need to worry about it too much. You put comma, go down, change again. Let's do all of them once and just run it once instead of doing it one. You bring this one. What do you want to change it to? Product category ID. To be product category ID. What data type is it? You just look at it. It's text. You put text there. You put comma, you go down. Change again. What do we want to change next? Created by. We want to call it created by. Created by. What data type is this? This is product category ID. This is the one we are doing now. Created by is an integer, right? Int. Then we'll bring it down. We change. Which one are we changing next? Created at. Created at. So, is this created date? This should be created date now. So we'll call it created create dates. Okay. All right. What's the data type is dates. Close it to come down. We'll change. The next one is this. So bring it changed by. So this is change by. The isn't integer. Okay. Change by is integer. Then we'll put comma. Then we change again. Change at is change at. What data type is the date? Then you bring it down again. Change. This one is here. Supplier partner ID. Okay. Supplier partner ID. Supplier partner ID is a integer. Like, as you can see, it's integer. So you put int there. You go down. Change. Tax info. Okay. So this is tax tax tariff. What? Tax tariff what? Code. Tariff code, yeah. Code, all right. So tax tariff code is what? Int. Is int. Close it. You change. The next one is quantity units. I think we have done away with that. So we are supposed to refresh the table so that it will disappear. It has gone off. So the next one is the weight measure. It is supposed to be what? Weight measure. The weight measure is what? This is double, right? Double. Okay. So it is double. That's the data type, all right? Change. The next one is we're almost done. Well, just two more to go. The weight unit. The weight unit is in kg. The weight unit. The kg there is text. We close it. Then we change again. Currency. I wanted to do it. Okay, let's leave it. Since some people, we are not going to make use of it anyway. So currency there is text. Then the last one. Wow, finally we are done. The last one. Bring it, price. Then the price there is what? Int. And this is the last one. Then we hit enter. Good. Our code ran. God, we run. This is almost how many lines of code and there's no error. So it ran. Let's look at our data again. Then you can see it is looking better now. They've all changed to the way we want it. So we use the camel case method. We change everything to small letters, okay? So the next thing, can you see that our date has formatted? Can you see that our dates now, SQL, the kind of dates that SQL allows is the European method of date, like this. You have your 2018, maybe 0309, like this. It does not allow it. It does not allow like this. If you use this kind of thing, you're going to see that shortly. SQL does not allow this. The only way, and the year must come first, the date must come second, then the month must come second, then the day. The year, month, day. This is the only kind of method it allows. Then you must change this thing to dash. This is the only way SQL will allow it. The only way, all right? As you can see, because of that data type will change, it automatically changed this thing for us in the normal way. Then let's look at this. Okay, yeah, fine. Everything here is fine. Yeah. This particular table is clean now, 100%. All the data integrity, everything is fine. Our data maintain the same unit all through. So this is clean, guys. We've done a good job. Let's clap for ourselves. So that's it. We still have two more tables to go. So we are done with this one. We'll close it. We'll close this particular table. Aha. Then we go to the next one. Okay. This is the next one now. Products category text. So also this table name, product order. Product order. Okay, someone is saying something. Please save script. Okay, yeah, it's saved. The product order. I think the name of the table itself, the name of the product order, since we are using the camel case, let's also maintain that. Let's change the name of the table. So we can just alter table. This is the table. Come down here and then rename, use rename this table to, what do we want to rename it to? We want to rename it to order, table order, like this. Then comma, we'll enter. It has been renamed. So if we refresh this, you can see the name of the table is now, okay, it did not accept the camel case. So that camel case only works for table columns, table rows, and all that, but it does not allow for the table order. So we need to take it back to the way it was. So we now change it from here, rename. This is now the new table name. Copy this one, put it here. So everything here is okay. We are done with this table. Let's pick the next table, which is the product category table. Let's pick that. We'll open that table. You can see there's nothing much to do here. I think we have to start from this is product category text. Product category text. Does that name make sense? I think I'll just prefer to call it product category. The first table is product order, product category, sales order. I think it makes sense, right? So let's rename it. So we alter table. Which table are we altering now? The second one, the product what category text. So what do we want to do? We want to rename the table itself. Rename. Which name do we want to give it? We want to call it products. Because let's follow the same name convention. These ones have underscore. So let's call it product category. Let's use the same underscore. Category. Good. They will close it and then run it. It has been successfully executed. So we'll check it again. Everything is fine. Select. So that's this one no longer, you see the error here, profile. Now project category text no longer exists. So we'll have to update this. You can see the name has changed. So we also need to change it here. Product category. Product category. All right, so let me now run it again. You can now see the table is here. So I have to meet everybody. Let me meet everyone.
Yes.
I've muted everybody. I'm just going to leave only Angela. Angela and Akim can unmute themselves. All right, so let's look at the table. So is our data clean? Angela, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, Akim. Is this data clean? Please take a look and see if it's clean.
I think it's okay.
Okay, fine. So the rows, the columns are okay, but I am not okay with the naming. This name doesn't make sense. We need to change it to normal name. The name of this column is product category ID. And remember the convention we are using, we are changing to camel to smaller case, right? So,
okay.
All right, we have to change the name. Good. That's great. Janet, that's fine. So let's do that quickly. How do we do that? Alter table. Which table are we altering? We just drag it and put here. Simple. Instead of typing it. What do we want to do? We want to change. What do we want to change? So we need to open the table, open the column. We want to change this name. Put it here. What do you want to change it to? You type what you want to change it to. Products. And with the convention we are using is a camel case, right? Products,
Yeah.
cats, category ID. Great. Then, because we want to name all of them once, 3 of them, let's just put comma and go down. We don't want to do 111. We change again.
Language.
Then the next one is language. We want to change it to what? Language. Then we'll put comma. Then we'll go down. We'll change again. Change. We want to product category name. So we want to change it to what? Product category name. Name. Good. So this is the end. Product category name. Oh, we needed to take this thing down. No. Let's take it down. It's not here that we want it.
Yeah.
Let's go down. Then so now I think we are done, right? Angela, are we done?
I'm not
so
sure.
If we run this thing now, it's going to give us error. It's going to give us error. That's a problem. So please, who can tell us what the problem is? You can drop it in the chat or raise your hand. We'll let you speak. If we run this thing now, it's going to give us error. I don't want to run it so that you will not see, because here you see the expo, you see it will tell you the problem. Eh? Okay, hey, go ahead, Janet, go ahead. Think you're muted. Okay, or mute.
We didn't include the data type.
Thank you. Thank you. So if you click here, you can see this red. Once your code is showing this red sign here, it means it's not going to run. That's error. So we did not put the data type. So here we must include the data type. So come here. This you can look at, just to know your data type. Just look into this thing. What is it called? Look into the rows. You're going to see the data type. So the data type what? Text.
Right.
Language, the data type is what? Text. Then product category name is what? Text. So text can work here, and voucher. I prefer to use voucher in this particular one because they can add more products that have name numbers in their name. Like it can be maybe BMX3, that kind of thing. Maybe Forerunner. They can bring another kind of bike that the name is Forerunner in the future. That 4 is letter. So if you put the 4 here, it's not going to work because it's going to see it as text as well. But this voucher takes care of whether it's text or number, joined together or separated. So that's the reason why we use it. But text to work, text is fine. If you use text here, it's still very okay. It's not wrong. All right, so now we are going to run it and it's successful. So we can now take a look at the table again. We can see that our table is clean. Very, very clean. Great. So the last table is the last one here. We can take a look. This is the longest table. So if you watch here, limit 1,000 row. Now, sometimes you load data that is, I think we've had data that we loaded that took hours, 2 hours, 3 hours to load. Very, very large data. So when you're working with your Excel, always use limit. This limit means you can only limit, if I limit this thing to 10 rows now, if I load this thing, it will load only 10 rows here for me. So that, because if you leave it to be too large, sometimes it take a lot of time. You wait and wait and wait, and it will take your time. But to make it fast, just limit it. It's usually in 1,000 row, but you can either increase it or even remove the limits at all. If you have large number of data, you can go up to 50,000 rows or even no limit at all. But by default, it's at 1,000 row at a time. All right, so that's it. Let's look at our data and try to understand what is going on here. This is the sales order ID. So this is sales table. Sales order ID, which is integer, is correct. Then the sales order item, I think we've spoken about this one before. The product ID, the currency is USD. I think we've gone through this data before. But what I wanted to point out here is that this data is not clean. Look at our table name. We need to change it. Let's go through it again. Look at our, can you see the net amount? The net amount is not consistent. For data integrity, your net amount must be consistent. Look at this one, it's double, but it is after the decimal point, you have how many letters? 3. I think usually in most cases, you just use two. The standard is that you use 2 letters, after the decimal place, you have 2 not letters, you have 2 numbers after the decimal place. But if you want to use 3 numbers after the decimal place, make it consistent. Let it be 3 all through. So if you go down here, you're going to spot this one is 2. Some are even 1. This one is 1, which is not consistent. So you must make it consistent, right? The same thing here. Then going forward, this one each, I don't like it. I'm going to remove it. Then this one, then this date format is not correct. We're supposed to change it if at all we need this date. But these people are funny. This is delivery date. 2 different columns cannot have the same name in the same table. Look at it, delivery date, delivery date. So, and if you check 2 of them, they are the same thing. So I think this one is going to go because it has no information it's passing. Do you get? This is 218 0309, 218 0309. So it's the same thing. If you go down, keep going down, each of them have the same thing, 218 0225. So 0225 to 18. So it's just a repetition of this one. So this is useless table. We don't need it. We are going to remove it. So the 2 columns we are removing here are the quantity units and the delivery date.
Okay.
Let's do that immediately without wasting time. We alter table. Which table are we altering? This time around, it's the
Order.
sales.
Order.
Okay, I can't even see it. Let's close the ones we are no longer working with. So we refresh this table. If you see it's still carrying those old names, if you refresh it, it will carry the new names. So we close it here. We open the sales order that we are working on. Wow, it's plenty. So we bring it here. We are altering the sales order. What do we want to do? We want to drop column. Which column are we dropping? We are dropping the quantity
Currency.
unit. Quantity unit is not important. It's not necessary. So let's do the 2 together instead of doing them separate. I don't think it will work though, but let's try. Which other one are we dropping? The delivery
Currency.
date. No, delivery. Let's leave currency. Let's just leave it. So it's not necessary here, but since we don't need it, it's not obstructing us. So let's leave it. So let's try. We hit enter. It works. Ooh, okay. So let's see what we have. Click on it. So it's gone. That last one is gone. The last date, the quantity unit is gone. So the quantity, we know that 4 is 4. There's no need saying 4 each, 9 each, 2 each, you know. So 4 is 4 and the date is dates. Good. So the next thing we need to do is to change the names, these names. Then this one. Okay. So we are going to go ahead and beat the time. We alter table. Let's start working. Or do we leave this one? You can do it yourself now. What do you think, guys? Do we change all these names or should we leave it? I need your opinion.
Let us quickly do it.
Okay, fine. Okay, alter table. Which table are we altering? We're altering the sales order. Then let's go down. Change. I'll do it very fast. The first one is this. What do we call it? Sales order ID. Then the other type is what? Int. Sales order ID. Change. What are we changing? Sales order. Sales order item.
Int.
Int. Okay, great. Change
Product
products.
ID.
Call it products
Patcha.
ID. Okay, great.
Patcha.
Okay, let's
Thank
just 255.
Yeah.
Currency. Oh, I just don't like this currency that we are leaving. But it's okay. Currency is what? Text.
Text.
Change. The next one is
What's
Put
amount?
amount. Change.
I hope we all know where we are changing
Yes.
this thing. It's not like it's more, so you can leave it as uppercase. It's just we. There's another formula for changing uppercase. You can also use update set equals to lowercase, but that is going to change everything to lowercase. That's not what we want to achieve. We want to change it to camel. Use camel case like two. I think I don't need to explain too much. Camel case means we want to just rename it and make it one word instead of having two words separated by underscore. All right. So that's the reason why we are doing this. You can as well not do it in your own if you don't want. Net amount. Net amount is what? Double.
Double.
Yeah. Change. So tax amount.
Double.
It's double. Great.
Change. Quantity.
Quantity.
Int.
Int. Okay. Quantity unit is gone. Quantity unit is gone. Refresh. It's gone. Right? You know why? You know why, right? Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next one is the last one is delivery date.
Yeah.
All right. Are we right? The last one. 1,
Yes.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay.
Delivery date. Date.
It's date, right? Good. So we'll
Yeah.
end it. We'll run it. Great. Our code is running. Woo! That's a lot of joy when you run your code and there's no error. It gives you kind of chill. Good. Our data looks good. Our data looks good. Everything here looks good. I think nothing is missing. So let's see what we have. Good. We've cleaned this one. We've cleaned this one. We've cleaned this one.
Okay.
So it's good to go now. The next thing is just to move it to Power BI and start working. And we didn't want to do that today. We wanted that to be tomorrow so that we focus tomorrow on visualization completely. So, but let's just try to do something here before we close. Let's try to do something here. Let's just, look at some of the questions. One of the questions here is find the total amount of product for each product category. Find the total. We are not solving it yet. I just want to show you something. Find the total amount of products for each product category. So if you look at this, you're going to see that they say you should find the total amount of products for each product category. Okay, so now the product category is not here. Look at product category is here. Look at each of the product category. We have the road bike, the BMX, cyclocross. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They have 9 different product categories. And you are looking for the total amount. Total amount means the total quantity for each one. And the quantity is in what? In the sales table. Look at the sales table. So if you keep going now, you see that some of this quantity belongs to each of these product category. So it means that you have to join these two tables together for you to be able to solve that number one problem. You can do that. You can do all of this in Power BI, but the reason why it's an SQL problem is that you have to solve it in SQL, then move only the data you need. You don't need to move all of this data, all of them, just carry all of them like this and put inside Power BI and start doing. No, each of these questions, you solve each one and carry only that script to Power BI and then visualize it. Let's do that. So now, to get the total category, the total total amount of items in each of the categories, we have the total quantity here, and what we have the total category here. So we need to join these two tables. But now, how do we join table? Remember, to join a table, they must have common column that used to join it together. So let's see if these two tables have common column that we can use to join them. So here, let's look. Sales ID, no. Sales item, product ID. Product ID. Does this one have product ID? No, it doesn't have product ID. So nothing can join these two tables together. So let's look at this product order table. This one has product ID. Sales has product ID.
Okay.
Then product category has product category ID. And this one has product category ID. What does this mean? We must join the three tables together before we can solve that problem. What we need is in just this and this. But these two doesn't have relationship. But this and this has relationship, and this and this has relationship. So we have to join this and this so that we'll be able to work with what we need in this and this. Do we understand the thing? Please, do we understand?
Yes.
Okay, good. So let's just join the table and see how it's done. Then I'll just comment joining tables. So we want to make sure you select everything. Let's start with selecting everything, even though we don't need everything yet. From which table? Which table do we start from? Let's start from this first one. Product order. Yeah, let's start from product order. From product order. Then join. What do we want to join? We want to join the product category. Where do we want to join it? On. So let's just alias. Let's alias it. Maybe let's call this one PO. Let's call this one PC. So we want to join it on which column? These two. Where do they have common column? Product ID, product category ID, right? This one has product category ID. So we're joining them on the product order. We're joining product order PO. We are joining PO dots. Supposed to bring up, okay. Product category ID, look at it, equals to PC. Where are we joining it? Product category ID. Good. Then we come down again. We need to join the third one. What are we joining now? The sales ID. Where are we joining it? On. So this is common product, because the product ID is common with this one, product ID. So we are joining sales table and what? Product order. So we are joining sales table and product order. Product order is on the what? On the left, and this one is on the right. So product order, PO dot product ID. Product ID, right? Product ID equals to, by joining, let's just alias this one let's call it SO. So we are joining SO on what? Product ID, right? We need to refresh this thing. It's still seeing the old table. We need to see. Still seeing the old names. So we need to refresh it to see the new names, right? Good. So let's now product ID. So guys, you understand what we did? We have joined the table now. So when we run it, you can see the 3 tables are now in one. Look at all of them. All the 3 tables are here. Do you guys understand what we did, please? I want to see your response. Do you understand? Are you guys still on this call? Have I lost you? Okay, good.
Well, no, we're here.
Okay. Olalekan, please go on. Or should we just
Yeah.
finish, then we'll come back? This is going to cut off in the next 2 minutes. Do we come back the
Okay.
last lap for questions? Huh? Okay, so we'll come back. Once he goes off again, then we'll come back for the last lap, the final lap, which is for questions. So you can see that we'll have all the questions, all the distance now. So let's solve that number 1. The only thing we need here is just the what? The total quantity. They say we should find. Let's go back to that question. So we should find the total number of products for each product category. Total number of products. Total number means what? Count of products. So what we want to do here is not, we don't want to select all of them. What we want to do is to just do total number of products. So we are looking at products. Where is the sales order? Products category. We have it in products category. So what we need is the products category name, comma. We want to get the count of what? The quantity. And the quantity is in which table? The quantity is in the sales table, right? Let me close all this table to be able to see. This is the sales table. Quantity is in sales table. So quantity, count of quantity, close your bracket. So if I run it now, it's going to show, do we sum it? Let's group it by, what do we want to group it by? Group by product category. So let's run it first so that you see the results. Okay, we have aggregate quantity group. So we must add group by. Have you seen it now? So we must add group by whenever we do aggregate. All right. We cannot just, so we have to group by. What are we grouping by? We must group it by this thing here. Whenever you're doing group by, you must group it by what you have in your select statement. So if you run it now, it's going to give you the table. All right. You can also narrow it down to maybe order by. What do you want to order by? So we can alias this thing. We can change the name of this product category name to maybe category. Just call it category. So we can just come here and change the name. Just come here. Just call it category. Then change this one. Just call it quantity. Wow, we are running out of time. Remaining minutes, 9 minutes. So we can just call this one quantity. That's all. So let's group it. Let's group by category. Let's group by category. And then good. When we run it now, you can see we have category, we have quantity. So you can also find the top. Maybe you're looking for the top. I think we have already grouped by ascending order. So here now you can just add descending so that it will now bring out the highest one at the top and the lowest one at the bottom. See the lowest one. So we want to reverse it. We want to make it ascending so that it will bring the highest one at the top. So the highest one is 319. No, the highest one should be 331. Category. Oh, we are grouping by category, which is wrong. So we are supposed to group by quantity. You see? Because we are looking at numbers. So we are grouping by what? Quantity. It's not correct. Quantity. Good. Ascending. It keeps ascending means from the lowest to the highest. So let's make it descending from the highest to the lowest. So this is the highest one. This is the second to the highest. So you can also even limit it to the top 5. Limit 5. So it shows us only the top 5. So this solves the number 1 question. So what you now do is just to carry this script to SQL and then just visualize it, turn this thing into a chart, maybe use a bar chart or something and represent it. This is amazing, guys. Are we together? So I'm going to unmute everybody. I think they gave us free 7 minutes. I don't know what we did though. They gave us free 7 minutes. Wow. So we can now unmute and ask question. This is the end of the class. We can now unmute and ask question. They gave us free 7 minutes, so we can use it to ask question. So by tomorrow, we'll be able to now do the visualization, go to Power BI, pick all of those questions and do just the same thing that we've done here and move on from there. So you can unmute yourself, please. Everybody unmute yourself so that you can ask questions.
Yeah, what I wanted to ask the other time, when you said when you were joining the other table, sales order, and you join sales order and what other table there?
I joined sales order and product category. No, sales order and product ID.
Product ID.
Product order. I
when
joined
you are
product order and sales order.
Sales order. So you are saying the one on the right, the one on the left. You remember?
Yes.
Which one was on the right or the left? Which one was on the right that you were pointing at?
Look at when you look at the equal to, this is your left, this is your right. So sales order is on the right, sales product order is on the left. So how to know is that
what was the implication? I said, what was the implication that you are referring to? Okay, why did you mention left and right?
Because I was using, this is inner join. There's no implication. It's inner join. Whether it's left or right, it's definitely going to join everything that is common between them. All right. That is the thing. So if I had wanted to use left join, I would have just consider that left or right. But because I was doing inner join, I didn't bother. I just mentioned it. So there's actually no implication to it.
That's what I wanted to clarify.
Okay, good. That's fine. So guys, let's take your questions, okay? Yes, that's what we're going to do tomorrow. You say, what if we carry the script that we use to, join the table? That's what we're going to do tomorrow. That's exactly what is expected of you. So we just carry this script to Power BI and then do this visualization for each of them. For each question you answer, you take the script to Power BI and do the visualization. That's why the question say notes.
That was that's my question. Like, instead of taking the script one by one, since we have used a script or a query rather to join the table together, why can't we just move that query once and put it to Power BI? Then we can, from there, visualize our data, because that's how I did my own. Like, I don't know if you get me.
Yes. If you do it that way, it's going to work. You're going to get exactly the same result that you will get if you do it like this by writing scripts here and just moving it. But the thing is, you're not supposed to move things that you don't need. This script now carries exactly what you need and it will leave every other thing. But if you move the entire script to Power BI, it means you're carrying both, even those currency, those rows that we did not need. It will carry everything for you there, even the things you're not going to eventually make use of. So if you now have large data, you see all those rows that, like this date now, we never need, all throughout the question, you will not need date column. You don't need it for anything. You will not need all these other columns, many of these columns. So if you go carry all of them, it's going to carry both the things you don't need. You just go there and dump it. So if if you happen to be working with large data, it's going to end up slowing down your work, your speed and all that. But when you carry the exact thing you need and just go and do exact thing that you want, it's going to make your job faster and then cleaner as well.
All right. All right. Thank you, sir.
All right.
Hello, Mr. Chris.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, how do I go about my SQL that is showing no connection? Is there anything I can do about it, or do I have to delete and
Say
install again?
no connection.
Yes. But I know that there was one that I downloaded that was very okay, but I can't really find it. The password that is saved on my system is the one that has been giving issue. I don't really know how to get the correct one. I don't know how to go about it at all.
Okay, just text me on WhatsApp. We'll solve it tomorrow morning, please. Not this night,
All right.
tomorrow, so that I
All right.
can look
Okay.
into it and solve it. So we have just
Thank
3
you.
minutes to go. We have, if you have questions, please drop your question. Please, what is the inner join? So
Will you be sending the recorded tonight or tomorrow?
yeah, I will just merge it this night and send it so that I can go through it before tomorrow's class. So this guy is asking the difference between inner join, left join, and right join. So inner join, left join, I think you have to just read it. Just Google it or watch the video on the class on inner join, left join, and right join so that I can understand it. So right join, you just use it when all the information you need is on the right table. It doesn't matter if they're on the left table or not. All the things you need are on the right table. So you use right join to join the table so that when you look at the final result, you're going to have all the information you need without anyone missing. The only place that something is going to be missing where you have nulls is in the left table, which you don't really need most of the things that are missing. Then left join is when you have everything you need on the left table, and then you use left join. Then what we use there is inner join. Join is same thing as inner join. If I add inner here, it's same thing as join to give me the same result. Okay, so just call it join. No need adding the inner. It's the same thing. Yeah, so let's take more questions. Just maybe 1 or 2 more questions, and I appreciate you guys for coming. So tomorrow we're going to talk about after our visualization, I'm going to talk about internship because obviously we know what is going on in the job market. If any person believes that with what you've learned, what you've done in Excel, Power BI, and the SQL, they're going to use it to get a job, then you're joking. You're joking. You're not going to get any job anywhere. Nobody is going to employ you by you just telling them that you know Excel, you learned Power BI, you did data analytics training with Digital World Academy. In fact, the competition is so massive in the sense that you're not only competing with thousands of people, you're also competing with AIs. Because currently, as we speak, all the entry job roles in data analytics are all off. Nobody's taking you as an entry data analyst, because the things you'll be doing as an entry data analyst are mostly you get the record